Hi! Today I'm going to show you how to make worry stones. Now if you've been in any of my Worry Warriors classes, you've already done this project and you know how much fun it is to make them. But if you haven't, worry stones are let's say they're little rocks. We make ours out of clay and we bake them so they're hard. So basically, it's like a little rock, and it's got kind of an indentation where you can put your thumb, and it's just something you can rub it when you're feeling really stressed out or worried. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to make them, and I like to make them with clay. I like to use this kind of clay. It's called Sculpey, but if you don't have any of this at home, you can probably use any kind of clay that hardens up, whether by baking it or letting it sit out to dry, and it should probably work. Alright, this stuff, if you want to use this, it's at the craft stores. Okay, so I like to choose 2 or 3 colors for my worry stones. I think the first one that we're going to do, I chose this color, which is Spring Lilac. And this one, which is glow in the dark. Now I have never used the glow in the dark clay before, so we'll see if it actually glows. But it seemed like a fun one. Okay, so here's what happens. So first, just let me get these packages open. These are both brand new packages. Okay, so I've got both packages open. And I'm just going to take just a little bit, like a little chunk. It doesn't take a lot. I'm going to take a little chunk of both colors. There we go. Now, set those aside. Now what you got to do is you got to work it so it's nice and soft. Each color separately. Squish it. That's what I like about this brand of clay, is that it's actually pretty soft to start with, and so it's easy to work it. Okay, so we're going to roll this into a ball. Okay, there, we've got a ball of our purple color, and I'm going to do the same for our glow in the dark. Okay, I'm going to get it nice and soft and roll it into a ball. Okay, so now I've got the ball of purple and the ball of glow in the dark. We're going to smush them together just like that, and we're going to roll that into a ball also. Okay, so we got a pretty good sized ball. So you can see it's about half purple and half glow in the dark. Now that we've got it in a ball, we are going to roll it out. We're going to make a nice big snake. You can make your snake as long or as short as you want it, but when you have a good snake, just like that, we're going to coil it back up again. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can just like smush it all back up just like that, or you can roll it up like a rug, like that. Coil it all nice. Coil it all right up so that it looks like that. Okay. Then we're going to smush it all back together and make a ball again. Now, can you see that? It's kind of marbled together, swirled all up. Now, you can do that as many times as you want. The more you work it, the more your colors are going to blend together. So if you want them blended, you could maybe roll it out and squish it up a few more times. I'm going to keep mine kind of nice and distinct, just like they are right now. Alright, so now that you have it in a ball, a nice ball, all you're going to do, you're going to put it down, you're going to take your thumb, just like that, and you're going to squish it. Squish it down so there's a nice thumbprint. You kind of flattened it out a little bit, You don't have to flatten it all the way down. But you can see I made a nice indentation with my thumb, and that's where it's going to be able to rub it when it's all baked. So this kind of clay, you bake in the oven till it gets hard. So I made that one. Now I'm going to make, I've got a different color combination that we're going to make here. I decided to go with, for this one, with pewter, which is kind of a grayish color with a little bit of sparkle in there. We're going to go with some black. Let's see, probably a little too much. I think I just want a little bit of black. There we go. Just a little bit of black, maybe a little bit more. All right, and then I've got this other color. This is plum. So if you're using different clays, for instance, I think this would probably work really good with like that salt dough clay that you might use to make homemade Christmas ornaments or something. The salt dough that you bake in the oven and it hardens right up. That would probably work just fine for this project. And so if you're using something like that, you could either color it with food coloring as you're making it to get your different colors, or after you bake it, you could paint it with some acrylic paints. Okay, if you have any of those at home. So I've got my clay out, I'm squishing it up. Squishing it up, rolling it out into balls. Okay, there's my plum. And the black. And the pewter. Okay. Alright, so I've got them all in balls. We're going to squish them together just like that. Okay. Squish them all up, roll them into one big ball. And as you can see, it shows you the 3 different colors there that we've got. Okay. I'm rolling it out so it's nice and smooth so we don't have any cracks in it. Okay. Now let's roll our snake. Okay. You can see the 3 colors are all twisted around right there. Alright, for this one, so the last one I coiled up, all nice and neat. This one I think we'll just smush it all up like this. How's that? I'm going to roll that out into another ball. Okay. Ooh, I like that. Alright, see? Okay, and then we're just going to smush our thumb down, just like we did on the other one. Okay. And there we have it. 2 worry stones. So I'm going to put these in the oven and then bake them for about half an hour. And when they come out, they'll be nice and hard, just like a rock. And they'll be perfect for keeping in your pocket or wherever else, and pulling them out when you need something to fidget with, or just rub your finger on, whatever you want to do with it. Okay, so I'm getting these worry stones ready to go in the oven. Well, here's what I'm going to use. This is just a craft oven that I use for crafts. You can actually bake these just in your regular oven in your kitchen. If you don't have something like this, this is a toaster oven, which also works if you have just a regular toaster oven. But if you don't, like I said, you can just use your regular oven that's in your kitchen. Now, with the kind of clay that you use, it's going to have its own drying instructions. This clay, the instructions are, we bake it at 275 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes per 1/4 inch. And I'm going to bake these for about half an hour, like I said. So I'm putting them in my tray. There they go. There they are on the tray. Now, because I do a lot of crafting, this is baking soda. You can sprinkle on top. It kind of helps keep it from burning because this can burn if you bake it at too high of a temperature. Usually you see it most in the lighter colors, like white. For instance, I might cover this one with the glow-in-the-dark just a little bit, just in case, because I don't want my glow-in-the-dark to burn. Okay, but the other one, that'll probably be fine. Alright, and like I said, that's just baking soda. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I've got my oven, it's preheating to the right temperature, and I'll put it in and I'll bake it for half an hour. Okay, now that our worry stones are in the oven and baking, I'm just going to go ahead and clean up my spot. It's really important after you've been working with this clay especially, but really anything, that you clean up your mess when you're all done, right? So that's what we're doing. We're cleaning up, I'm putting all my clay away, and I'm going to wipe down the table where I was working because this stuff should not get around food, okay? And you'll want to wash your hands real good when you're done using it. So I'm going to wipe down my table with a baby wipe. Because I have a lot of them on hand. Alright, so I'm just going to wipe it down. This stuff gets the clay residue off really good. I'm going to wipe my fingers off. Okay, and we didn't make too big of a mess because none of those colors really bleed. But there's some colors that leave behind a big mess on your table. Like red. Red gets everywhere. Okay, so my hands and my table are all cleaned off. And now, as you can see, I'll show you my oven. See, there's my tray with the worry stones on it. And we'll check back in about 25 minutes and see how they turned out. And then we'll see if we can get that glow-in-the-dark one to glow. Hi again. Alright, our timer just dinged on the oven. So we are going to go ahead and pull out our worry stones and see how they turned out. Okay, now, they're really, really hot, so you might want a grown-up to help you with this part. Alright, they need to cool off before we can look at them. So I'm just going to grab something over here to help brush that one off because I don't want to burn my fingers. Oh, look, I have a paintbrush. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to uncover this one here. There it is. Oh, it looks perfect. Okay. Alright, so we'll let those cool off. I'll rinse all the baking soda off, and they are ready to be used. There we go, and now we have worry stones.